today is look at a lick that's universally blues and has been used by many, many people over the years. So it's simple and it's hard. Now, for instance, why would we say it's simple? What's the reason why we say that? Because it uses 3 notes. You can do it with just 2 fingers, but we will talk about a way and show a way of how to do it with 3. So let's just have an example of the easy way of doing it first. So there we have a demo of how to play that lick, that blues lick, with 2 fingers and only using your pick once. Now, in this case, I've had a fair bit of gain on there so that we could get the sustain that we needed to using the hammer-ons. Now, to do it like that, all I do is you can either pick downwards or upwards. All you're doing is down with the pick, every time you're repeating that. And obviously with an electric guitar with a lot of gain on, you need to make sure that you're going to be muting your strings. So there's a simple way of playing that blues classic 3-note riff with just your pointer finger and your little finger, or your 3rd finger if that's stronger, and some people might like to do the Django and Garry more and use their 2nd finger. So there you have it. The notes that all this is in A, of course, as you know, as our key of choice for tutorials. So just the pointer finger there back on the 5th fret on the 1st string, and here we have either your, I do suggest you use at least your 3rd or your little finger if you like, on the 8th, and then you're going to hammer on. You're going to pick that 1st note, hammer on to the C or the 8th, and then pull off again to the 5, and you're going to hammer on to that G there on the 8th on the 2nd string. And it's just a matter of doing that over and over again, as you can see. Now, we might call that the easy way of doing it, although that can be a little bit of a job to get used to. Now, the next thing we're going to have a look at is how to incorporate 3 picks, 3 applications of the pick on your right hand to the strings to make a more articulate sound. And usually when you're going a bit slower, because the faster you go, you're going to have to pick like mad or use country hybrid style picking to keep up. So let's have a listen to this method with the 3 applications of the pick in there. Okay, so there we have it. Now, let's break that down. We're using the same notes, the 5, 5th fret on the 1st string, the 8th fret for your little or your 3rd finger, and the 8th fret on the 2nd string. Now, this time we're doing basically the same thing we did with just the one pick and the pull off and hammer on and so forth method that we just looked at before. But this time we're going to pick the first note and the second note. So it's going to go down, up, and your pick will be right at the ready to play the very next note, which is going to be the G, or the 8th fret on the 2nd string. So we're going to go once again down on the A, up on the C, pull off to the A, and then with the pick, up on the G. So let's try that again. Down, up, pull off, then up. Okay, so there's only one pull off there. That's from the C back to the A. And it should sound... Now you can do that with the one finger. However, I prefer to use 3 different fingers. You will probably find that it's necessary, especially with gain on, like this lick, because you're using your pick. You shouldn't have to worry too much about noise on a lot quieter sounding. I'll just turn off the overdrive. Okay, so that's basically the idea for what we might call the hard version of this particular blues lick, because it can take a while before what I've shown you here even sounds like what I'm doing. You can think, he's taught me the wrong thing, it's just not it. We're playing tricks here or something, but we're not. It took me a long time to get it as well. See, it's quite easy to control and very clear. The notes are very clear and easy to control when you've got hardly any gain on at all. So there's not such a need for muting. However, especially when you're on this bottom string here, the bottom 2 strings, it's probably not a bad idea just to have the tip of your finger just touching the B string there. Or whatever. Okay, so just a few other little things with regards to this lick, little extensions that you might be able to do with it. Now you can play it in a scale type fashion. However, the other thing you might like to do is whack in the blues note there. So what we'll do is just use the 2 middle strings here. We're going to have 5 and 7 on the G string and 7 again on the D string. We'll also add this note in here, the blues note, on the 8th, on the 3rd string. So it'll go... that sort of thing. So, okay, so there we have a way of playing that blues lick, both easy, with just the fingers and one picked note, and a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs, or we have the articulated way with the pick, which will probably make you go a little bit slower. But then if you want to go nuts, just employ the country method of using your fingers as well. Okay, so see how you go with that one.